Hi guys, and welcome to our weekly forecast video where we're going to look at dollar index, how it has moved since last week, and what to expect regarding the dollar in the coming few days and few weeks. So what we have seen so far is that dollar remains bullish, but there's a few aspects of the market, there's a few data that is up on the calendar that might put in some brake a bit on that rally that we are seeing in dollar index. So let's look at the calendar first and what to expect for the rest of the week. So Monday, it was mostly bank holiday for most countries, and then we didn't have much of movement during the day, but heading into New York close, we saw some big moves in the majors, mainly dollar index, pound USD, euro USD, Aussie dollar. We saw a bit of huge movement. So looking ahead to Tuesday, we've got average earnings for the pound coming up tomorrow at 8 a.m. and then we've got the German economic sentiment coming in around 11, so expect some volatility in Euro pairs. Then we've got job openings for the United States at 4 o'clock, and then Clarida, she's speaking, she's a FOMC member, she's speaking around 5:15, so expect a bit of volatility coming into dollar index because we've got these two speaking FOMC members. Then on Wednesday, we've got GDP for the pound. I don't expect much difference here. I don't expect it to be too much of a positive number. If it is, probably by a 0.01% or something like that, or even a negative number. Then we've got the manufacturing productions for August. These ones are going to take a hit because of the shortage of fuel that we saw late September. So these numbers here, they're definitely not going to be good for the pound, so expect the pound to drop during that time. And then we've got some inflation numbers for the United States coming in also on Wednesday. Now these ones are crucial, I'm going to explain a bit later. Then we've got meeting, the FOMC meeting minutes later on at 8 p.m. and then on Thursday we've got employment change for AUD. Those ones are going to be volatile for Aussie dollar. Then we have got the initial jobless claims. This is now Thursday. These ones also are going to be crucial. I'll tell you why in a moment. Then we've got the PPI also, same time 2:30 on Thursday. And then we've got the crude oil inventories. And then Friday we've got the core retail sales. These ones also are going to be very, very important. The core retail sales and the retail sales for September for the dollar. These ones are very crucial. Why do I say these fundamentals? Namely, the retail sales for the dollar and the inflation numbers for the dollar that are coming in on Wednesday. Now, it's going to be a very busy week in the forex market, and inflation and the spending. We're talking of United States here, folks. Two of the most important elements of the Federal Reserve policy. These ones are going to be in focus during this week. And with the move that we saw in USD JPY, the bullish momentum that we saw in USD JPY to its strongest level since I think December or November of 2018, investors have largely put aside the soft number that we saw on the payrolls report. Now, this is crucial, that move in the yen. However, if inflation and consumer spending numbers also fall short, if the inflation and the consumer spending number follow through with the same negative number that we saw on NFP, then the bullish momentum for the dollar is going to be on a pause a bit. We might see dollar really crash to the downside. It will be difficult for the US dollar to hold on to those gains that we saw lately on King dollar. So inflation numbers, they should be stronger given the recent increase in oil and gas prices. So we should see an increase in the inflation numbers. But the main question is on retail sales that are coming up on Friday at 2:30. So take note, the retail sales and inflation numbers that we are getting on Wednesday, the core CPI, these are the inflation numbers, folks. So take note. But prior to that, the US dollar remains bullish. Prior to these fundamentals here coming out, the US dollar remains bullish. But these two reports, they'll play an important role in the resilience of the dollar. So we might see a bit of a bearishness if we get negative numbers for the inflation news and the retail news. So now looking at the COT report for the dollar and try to back up what the numbers might be. Now we have seen the banks, the non-commercials, the hedge funds and big institutions. They've taken profit on both of their positions, the short and the long. They've taken profit mainly on their short exposure for dollar index. They've taken a huge chunk of profit. But when we look at the non-commercials, right, the non-commercials really didn't do much, but they've added more shorts. See, they've added about 7,359 positions to their short exposure. That's crucial. This is all happening at a very strong area of resistance, folks. This is all happening around 94.30, right? So what then should we expect to see in the market, right? After looking at these numbers, right, open interest has just jumped by just about 1,800 points, which is not much of a big move. But when we look at the commercials, they're really extremely net short. The commercials are really extremely net short on dollar index at a time when dollar is trading at a very strong area of resistance. Now, how do we expect the dollar to react? Now, looking at the fundamentals that are coming, if we are to get a negative number for the inflation news and the retail news, then I'm anticipating dollar to find huge resistance around 94.30 and 94.78. Those two price points, they are crucial for dollar to find resistance. But prior to that, it means it would have been rallying. And you can see already this week opened and we are pushing to the upside. We've got the high here that's coming in at 94.52, right? The high of 2 weeks ago coming in at 94.52. There's buy stops there. There's a liquidity pool of buy stops. So expect those buy stops to be raided. Expect the market to trade above that price point. So let me just mark it here on this different chart. So now I'm sure you can all see what I'm trying to do here. The reason why I'm now only doing dollar in the analysis, folks, is I want you guys to also be in a position to do your own analysis on the majors on gold, on oil, based on how I would have framed my analysis of dollar index. So this high here above 94.52, there's a liquidity pool of buy stops, but there's also an interesting area here. We've got the low of last week and the high, which this candle was a bullish breaker. Now, if we do get negative numbers for the retail sales, inflation news, then expect dollar to trade lower all the way to around 93.67. Expect dollar to trade lower to around 93.67. That is if those fundamentals are negative, but that will only happen once we take out 94.52. Once we take out 94.52 and the numbers come out negative, the inflation numbers, the retail numbers come out negative, then expect dollar to trade lower to the downside. Expect huge weakness, folks, not even small, because those are huge fundamentals. So I'll be expecting dollar to trade lower to around 93.67 based on a negative number for the inflation news and the retail news. But if we do get positive releases from those two fundamentals, right? If we do get positive releases from those two fundamentals, then I'm expecting dollar to trade above 94.79. Now remember what I said, I think 2-3 weeks ago, when I said nothing much will stop dollar to trade above 94.80 in the month of October. Now, only those two fundamentals are the block for dollar to rally to that side. If those fundamentals come out positive, right? If they do come out positive, then expect 94.80 to be raided. The buy stops above this price point here. Expect this swing high to be broken to the upside. And once that happens, guys, once that happens, then this fair value gap now is going to be filled. This fair value gap is going to be filled with the target of 95.33, 95.35. So this is what I'm anticipating dollar to do, right? We've got let me just make these a bit smaller because they're quite big now. They're really quite big. So since we're already in the last quarter, right? So you need to make sure you understand because normally during the last quarter, fundamentals do really come into play, right? Because most of the institutions, the commercials, the hedge funds, the banks, they will be on shutdown mode. But yes, we are just in the middle of October, but it's the pace already that's being set right now of what's going to happen in the last quarter. So positive number for the retail and the inflation news, then we'll see dollar trade above 94.80. But those numbers negative after a buy stop rate, then expect dollar to crash to the downside. Now I'm gonna go to lower time frame a bit so that we can look at the price action properly, right? So this is the price action on H4, which is what our entry time frame. We can even go as low as H1, but for now I'm focusing on the H4. So expect dollar to trade above this price point here, just so a little bit, 94.52. yeah, so that's 94.52. I'm gonna put it institutional price point 94.52, and then here we've got 94.67. we have 94.67. 947. Actually, it's 68. $9,468 is our what? Support level. So you can see already I've got a range, right? I've got a range that I have defined. Once we get to this level here, of which I'm expecting, yeah, 94.52, it will definitely be traded through. What do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow we've got the job openings report around 4:30, but we also have this German economic sentiment. This here, if it does come out positive, right, the euro is gonna gain big time. A reading that is stronger than forecast is generally supportive, while a weaker than forecast reading is generally negative. What are they focusing on? They are focusing 24.0. 24.0. If we do get any number less than 24.0, that's a weaker reading, then that's bearish for the euro and bullish for the dollar. But if we get a number that is bigger than 24, that's a stronger than forecasted, which is normally supportive for the euro. Then expect euro to trade higher. So take note, around 11 o'clock I'll be on the charts and I'll be giving you hints once I see that number being published. We also have the average earning for the pound, but that's sort of 8 a.m. That will only move the pound big time. So tomorrow, these German economic sentiments, they'll be crucial for dollar, and also the job openings. Those are the numbers that are likely to have dollar trade up to 94.52. So once we get the buy stop rate, once the buy stops above 94.52 have been raided, your attention should be drawn to the calendar for Wednesday, right? We've got the CPI release, we've got the inflation number, and then we also have the FOMC meeting minutes. Now these meeting minutes here, I'm pretty sure they're going to be published, and then they'll probably have a bit of tapering news inside, because I'm sure they've already discussed, since they have seen the NFP number from last Friday, so I'm sure they've already discussed what to do in terms of tapering. So expect also volatility once these fundamentals, these meetings have been published. But prior to that, Wednesday, the core CPI, if we do get dollar trading above 94.52 tomorrow, then when the CPI number is released, the core CPI number is released, if it is negative, right, if it's a negative number, then expect a buy stop rate above and then price trade lower. But if it's a positive number, folks, then expect price to continue to the upside above 94.80 all the way to around 95.35 during the rest of the week, where we'll only see strong fundamentals for the dollar on Friday, which are the retail sales. Yes, we've got Thursday where we've got jobless claims, but they won't do much for the dollar, those numbers. But most probably maybe the core CPI news, no, not core CPI news, the crude oil inventories. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm anticipating for the dollar. So expect a continuation to the upside, because you can see already we've had a market pause here since 30 September. It has been ranging after it reached these yearly highs. Dollar has been ranging, so now expect a breakout, most probably to the upside. But the inflation and consumer spending numbers, they are crucial to that upside momentum. So yeah, take note of those and be on the lookout. Don't go into the market blind. Make sure you understand, once the number is published, you definitely see where dollar should trade to. You should be in a position to what? To understand how to trade the dollar. So yeah, if I'm anticipating positive, if we do get, say, positive inflation and consumer spending number, it means dollar bullish, right? Weekly bullish order flow. Then that means Euro USD, Pound USD, we should see further moves to the downside. Now with Pound, guys, take note, Pound is really under pressure. There's very big things happening in the UK economy at the moment. Things are a bit haywire, so shorts are really ideal on Pound, irrespective of what the market is doing. Short positions from premium areas are ideal. And also Aussie dollar. Expect Aussie dollar now to respect this level here. This is probably a buy stop rate on a daily. Yeah, that's probably a buy stop rate that we have seen here. Price rated this old high and then traded into this daily bullish bearish order block. So we should see lower moves to the downside, probably all the way to 0.784 or 0.73 for the rest of the week. There is a huge potential for nice pips to the downside on Aussie dollar. As for the yen, this one here, I'm going to be on the sidelines for on this one here. We have really moved big time for the last 4 or 5 days, and I really need to see some other confluence for me to trade long on USD JPY. So yeah, that's pretty much about it for this week, guys. And for those who haven't subscribed to the channel, unfortunately you're only gonna see this video probably Wednesday or Thursday, heading into the New York session or sometime mid New York session. Mentorship group, you're going to get this forecast straight to your inbox at the moment, and shared also on the group as soon as it finishes uploading. So if you want to receive the video earlier so that you make informed decisions for the week, just give us a shout out, send us a message on Telegram or email, or inbox us on WhatsApp also. So yeah, that's pretty much about it, guys, and I wish you guys good luck and happy trading for the week. Thank you.